As the casualties of this pandemic have dominated the headlines, we're learning more about the casualties of a different kind of American tragedy. The Louisville Metro Police Department have announced that 3 police officers involved in Breonna Taylor's death are now on administrative reassignment. The 26-year-old EMT in Louisville, Kentucky, was killed back in March. It happened in her own home when police entered on a no-knock warrant overnight. Now, according to a lawsuit filed by her family, Louisville police shot Breonna Taylor 8 times after entering the apartment without announcing themselves. The lawsuit alleges the warrant was based on information. Breonna's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, who is a licensed gun owner, shot one of the officers whom he thought were intruders. He's being charged with attempted murder. Breonna's mother spoke to my colleague, the Reverend Al Sharpton, in the last hour.
They were about done wrapping up, and that they were almost finished where they would be getting out of there. So it was then I asked again, well, where is Breonna? Like, I've been asking, where is Breonna? And he said, well, Mel, she's in the house. And that, I knew then what that meant.
Outrage over Taylor's death as protests and vigils continue for Ahmaud Arbery. The caravan, this that you're looking at here, left Atlanta this morning for the 4-hour drive to Brunswick, Georgia, where the 25-year-old was shot and killed while his family says he was jogging through the neighborhood. Gregory McMichael and his son Travis McMichael claimed they thought Arbery was connected to a string of robberies in the area, according to a police report. They were arrested and charged in early May with murder and aggravated assault after a video of their deadly February confrontation with Arbery went viral. Important to note, police have had that video since February. NBC News now confirming Gregory McMichael himself leaked the video first to the attorney Alan Tucker, who originally claimed responsibility for making the video public. Local Atlanta affiliates reporting it was an effort to clear up some rumors circulating in the community, and he had no idea the video would spark global outrage. Joining me now, Kimberly Crenshaw, professor at Columbia Law School and UCLA Law, executive director of the African American Policy Forum and host of the webinar, Under the Blacklight, the Intersectional Failures that COVID Lays Bare. Professor Crenshaw, thank you for joining me. I just want to start with the video, the Ahmaud Arbery video, where Travis himself gave that video over to a lawyer because he thought it would clear things up, and he had no idea that it would go viral. So a video of these 2 guys in a pickup truck going after this guy, stopping him and shooting him. He actually thought that might clear his name.
Ali, it just reinforces the fact that our history and our contemporary moment seems to give people the license to think that they can take life. The very fact that he looks in that video and sees exculpatory evidence in the face of what many of the rest of us see as a lynching in broad daylight just underscores how distinct the worldviews are between those of us who live in a history in which our lives used to be taken on whim, and those who live in the history in which they're used to being able to exact dominion over people of color. The fact that we have this lynching that's happened, and we have it on videotape, and we also have a killing that the police have done of an innocent person in their own home. And neither of these stories really seemed to garner much attention until the video was leaked or until a lawsuit was brought. Just goes to show that we really have to wonder whether that thing that the Supreme Court said many years ago, that black people have no rights that white people are bound to respect, is that history or is that now?
Yeah, I guess your point about video is valid, because as you and I have discussed, African-American activists used to say that black people get killed often for doing nothing, or even if it was not nothing, it's without the law being applied to them. And, a lot of reasonable people would say, come on, that can't actually be true. They don't just shoot people for doing nothing. And then suddenly we had video, and we had video after video after video of this sort of thing. When you talk about Breonna Taylor, I mean, this is a remarkable story. The police came in, ununiformed, in the middle of of the night, not looking for either her or her boyfriend in the apartment. The boyfriend, licensed gun owner, shoots thinking there are intruders because there are ununiformed police in their apartment, and he has now been charged with attempted murder, and Breonna Taylor is dead.
Yeah, like, where's the NRA in this moment, right? Look, the reality is that when we actually start looking at all of the ways that Black women lose their lives from police violence, often it's just like this. It happens in their home. It happens when they're with their children. It happens when they're with their loved ones. It happens when police say that their lives are at risk. It happens when police say that it was the look on their face, like Michelle Cusseau, who was killed, because of police coming into their homes. The reality is that Black women, like Black men, also lose their lives. They are shot while in their own homes. They're shot when they're calling for help, and we don't seem to know about it. So the hope at this moment is that the mother of Breonna doesn't experience the complete wiping out of the history that this has happened, that so many other mothers of Say Her Name have also experienced. The thing happens, and then our society forgets that it happens.
Well, I just want to repeat something you just said. You said "say her name," and that is a hashtag, that is a campaign, that is a movement to understand that we can't forget this. It can't just go by. It can't be a story that is so common that we don't even believe that it's a headline.
Absolutely. And, you know, I have to give all credit to some of the mothers of Say Her Name. Fran Garrett, whose daughter, Michelle Cusseau, was killed within a week of Mike Brown, but no one knew anything about it. And in her inimitable way, she said, somebody's going to recognize that my daughter was killed. And so she took her daughter's coffin to the Phoenix City Hall. That was a bold action that made many people wake up to the fact, as activists have been saying all along, Black women are also killed by the police.
Kimberly, there is much work to be done, and you are doing much of it. Thank you for doing so. Professor at Columbia Law School and UCLA Law, Kimberly Crenshaw.